Welcome, everybody, to Shelfside Spurs Show. As you can see, my light's back this week, so I'm back. Barry, how are you?
I'm all right, apart from my name at the bottom.
Hello, Barry. Barry's with us this week. We regret to inform you that we've got a special announcement, haven't we, Barry? That a couple of our long-term regulars have left the channel. Unfortunately, Rez and Alan have decided they're bigger and better than Shelfside Spurs, and they'd rather go on all these other channels rather than grace us with our presence. So the arseholes have left. What did you make of the news when you heard, Barry?
Well, I'm just thoroughly disappointed, if I'm honest.
Yeah, disappointed more than angry. It's just I can really put it into words. When I heard, we make such an effort to put out content and stuff, and just the guys were slowly dropping off, weren't they, one by one each week?
Yeah.
And only joking.
Only kidding.
Or are we?
Or are we?
Les Denis. Where is Les Denis? Les Denis?
Hello.
Les Denis?
Hello.
Are you naked there? I thought you were naked there for a moment. Like a little naked shoulder kind of thing going on there.
I do actually need to step away for 5 minutes, to be honest.
All right. Okay, it worked out well then. How was my acting, ladies and gentlemen?
In 5, I promise.
Oh, you'll be back in 5. And we also bring great news to you. So are you ready for this, Barry?
Yeah, should we have a little... Oh, you've got the music.
You boys didn't warn me about this at all.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, Newcastle game, Al. Can you have that playing from your scooter?
So people can find you. They'll have that playing out the side.
The little buzzer on it. I mean, it's like I don't press it because it's so pathetic.
Can you get a motion sensor going out so whenever anyone comes near you?
Hey,
Al, by the way, I didn't know that was going to happen either. So I was like,
I didn't want to.
Oh, how do I play this down?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, what's going on? I was wondering whether I should actually do because Rez obviously knew as well. So I was thinking
he didn't. I just axed him at the last minute. Last minute decision to. I had that plan for you, but I thought I'd because Rez missed last week with his tummy troubles. So it wasn't very well. That's the way of putting it, Alan. So I got to introduce you both back into the fold this week.
Yeah.
How are you, Al? Anyway, long time no speak.
Yeah, not too bad, mate. On the mend now. Things are getting better. Still not looking forward to my son going, but that will happen. Good possibility. I might even be taking a weekend up to Brid in a couple of weeks to take him up there.
Briddy, a Briddy boy, Alan the Briddy boy, going up to Bridlington Bay.
Well, I've got family up that way, so
you and me both good.
Yeah. Well, I've got one of my first cousins lives up there, and her son and his wife and all his kids. So, and when I say all these kids, there's like I think it's 4 or 5 of them and grandchildren and blah blah blah. So, yeah. So
it's going to cost you a fortune buying presents for all those little kids.
No, it ain't. It's going to cost him because I ain't staying up there. I'm only going to take him up there and say goodbye.
You got to buy your little nephews and nieces presents. You can't be like an Indian giver. You got to come up there and
they are cousins, third cousins.
Third cousins, twice removed on the other side of the tracks.
No,
yeah?
Is that how the rule works?
No removements in their bed. So no
removement. I don't understand how cousins works anyway. So apart from the first cousin, I don't understand.
You don't want to understand because you want to shag your own cousin. That's what it is, isn't it?
I see we're right on track for talking.
Oh damn it! 10 minutes. We haven't hit our 10 minutes mark.
And I take it we're on the right track to follow football straight away. You know, we're talking about shagging cousins. Rez, where are you?
What are you
Sorry.
implying?
lawyer.
Shagging his cousin?
I don't know
or
what he's
No,
doing
we
actually.
need our lawyer. We need our lawyer here while we're doing it.
Is he going to be putting on a comedy some headwear or something? It looks like. Do you remember Cracker? It's not Crackerjack. What was it called? Where you had Claypole. Remember the old? He was like a clown, wasn't he? It was like a children's TV program. Was it Crackerjack? Something like that. And he had Claypole, the clown. Rez will know. Where is he when you need him?
Where is Rez when you need him?
Yeah,
Stop
that
trying
little
to be
pen
cousin.
behind him looks like. Rez, can you hear us?
Yeah. Yes, I can. Sorry, I had to.
Do you remember that the kids program in the 80s? Like behind your head, there's like a court jester pen. It looks like a court jester. And there was a thing called Claypole. And you had Miss Popoff, Claypole. Can you remember? It wasn't. Yes. Rent-A-Ghost. Yeah. You remember that?
Yeah.
Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember it.
That guy
Actually,
really
doing
did look like a child molester. Looking back,
What? The guy in the.
the jester really
jester.
did look like. You think back on him, and it was like, ooh. Hold on.
It's Bobby Kay.
Bobby Kay's in the house.
Bobby
Mama
Kay's
Kate's in the house. Sophie, you missed her. She admired our acting skills as well, Rez. You know.
Fan of the show. She's a big fan of the show.
Hold on.
Who?
There with.
Claypole, Rent-A-Ghost. Yes, that's right, Mark. It was.
Good to see you, Mark. And Bobby
He
Kay,
did.
although he's been overshadowed today by two things. First of all, little Kay was on Tottenham Tantrum Gold earlier. However, he should have been in a school lesson. So following that, I came on in the comments. Hi, this is.
See what I mean?
Yeah. Hi,
Yeah, fair
this is school services here. I just wondered if you can confirm what your child is doing outside of online lessons. 2 minutes later, automated message from the school. 5 minutes later, once you've typed in all the different options of why you were late and everything else, I don't think they had was streaming for the first time on YouTube as one of the options. His wife then got an email to notify her that little Kay was not in lessons. But apparently all is good. Or so Bobby Kay says. Maybe this isn't Bobby Kay. He's currently at work. Maybe we won't hear from him ever again in the future because
it's international relations, isn't it? It's got to be done. You know, the Kays are internationally renowned superstars, and they're just reaching out to their British brethren to build bridges.
I think that the Toronto school system should make better accommodation for that, because he is essentially representing Canada on the world stage.
Bridges are needed to be built, Rez, after the damage that their president, or is he prime minister or president, has done to Canadians' reputation. They're supposed to be like these. Yeah. Still alive.
Yeah, is the word. Okay. When you finish work, make sure you'll get in and you'll be really, whatever time it is, like 3 a.m, 2, 3 a.m. You'll open the door and Mrs. K, Special K, let's just say, will be stood there, and she'll say, "Oh, you decided to come home, did you?" And then all hell was breaking loose. So, can you please let me know when you get home that you're still alive? Because
no, you're making the mistake, Nick, of thinking that punishment hasn't already started. He said,
"Oh, there's a Mrs. Al situation going on behind you."
Yeah, she hasn't killed me yet.
Not you, Al.
Oh,
Barry.
It's a very slow death. She's already started killing him, but hasn't completed the process. These are his last words.
Yeah.
Can we just take a moment though to compliment little Kay? I don't know if it's which one it is, but he's got the best hair since Disco Benny, hasn't he? He's got the best hair.
Chocolate Maradona is what Bobby Kay called him earlier. I'm not sure that's really correct, but we'll go with that because his dad said it was okay.
Mama Coates is bang on the money there. It's media communications class, wasn't it?
There you go. Yeah, certainly.
Regular viewers, of which those people in the chat are showing us the love, they will know that it's we like to kick things off with Spurs on this day in history, and it's a ruddy corker, if I do say so myself. Are you ready for this? Strap yourselves in, gentle ladies, because we're going in. Right. The last line is the killer. It's the payoff for the whole thing. Just just bear that in mind. Wait for the last line.
Okay.
An emphatic 5-1 win over Southampton. I should say, incidentally, this is Saturday, March 1985, 23rd. I couldn't find one for the 24th, so that's the 23rd yesterday. An emphatic 5-1 win over Southampton and White Hart Lane comes with Spurs season gathering great momentum in the latter stages. 5 different players scoring on the day, as Ozzy Ardiles, Mark Falco, Glenn Hoddle, Garth Crooks and Gary Brooke all got a goal each in the demolition of the South Coast outfit. Are you ready for this? Sadly, Spurs couldn't continue this vein of form as they lost 5 out of their next 6 games. That's when we were going for the title, isn't it, Alan? 1985 as well. We were quite well set, weren't we?
We were well set, but the problem was we had a lot of, in them days, so many postponements that really messed you up.
I think we had a bad winter, didn't we? Like loads of games got called off by snow. So
I think we played something like 10 games in April and May at that time, when you consider that they played in Europe, been playing in Europe and been playing in, and they never had the squads they do nowadays. You'd have about 15, 16 players playing most of the games, most of the season, unless there was injuries. So,
if that. Before we go on, we actually owe Bobby Kay an apology, don't we? Well, I do.
No.
You don't, Nick. You don't, Nick. You can sit this one out. You can sit this one out. Cool. So, Bobby, my eternal apologies for last week. Rez was ill. I think Alan was ill as well, and I left my light at work. As excuses go, I've got a little light here because I've only got one light in my room and it's really crap and it's in the other corner, so you can't see me if I forgot to bring a spare light home from work. So please accept my sincere apologies, Bobby Kay and the viewing millions who are looking forward to seeing Bobby Kay for last week's show. But we're back, baby.
Yeah, I did mention to him earlier. Let us know. Well, give us a bit of advance. We'll make sure.
Yes, we'll get him on next time. I'm lighted up to the nines now. Rez is never going to eat chicken again, and Al has decided to never ever be ill anymore. So we're retiring.
Oh, is
that a deal, Al?
I'll tell you something. I've got more chance of winning the lottery than that happening.
That's the spirit.
I should try my hardest.
Right. We actually won a game again, didn't we? So let's bring it up here on the thing. West Ham, we were all there, and Rez, you were ill again, weren't you? Were you there? You were ill again.
I wasn't ill. Last week I had a family matter. Sunday I didn't make the game because I was ill. Yeah.
So actually,
Barry,
me and you were there.
Yeah. Well, you were there. You were there in spirit, weren't you, Barry? You were off running around the stadium looking for YouTubers to try and sort of photobomb in the background.
I can't believe I did photobomb Barry. There was some photobomb Barry's going on. Yes, I must admit.
Yeah.
I hold my hands up, but I was not. Contrary to popular belief, is that I was not running around the stadium trying to
looking for YouTubers to get an autograph.
No.
And you know what it culminated in, Rez? In the second half, we had a spare place next to us. So at half time, we sent Barry a message saying, "Barry, we've got a spare seat next to us if you fancy it." About halfway through the half, about 60, 70 minutes, we're like, where's Barry? He didn't come down. Like, we look up to where the We Are Tottenham boys are, Ben and Sim and Grandpa and that, and he's up there, isn't he? Sat on one of their laps, and he's in all the YouTube videos and in the background, like cuddling people in like Danny Kiriakou celebrating the goal, and suddenly Barry's photobombing him in the background, and Sean Butler, he's all kept getting in Sean Butler's footage, didn't you, Barry? He's loving it.
He's into Danny because of the aftershave.
That's the thing. In Barry's defense, I think he was probably led there by the scent of Danny. That's the thing. It's just one. If Danny's in the stadium, if the Boone is in the stadium, it's just inevitable that Nick will, gravitate to it because the scent just draws him. It's like
I love I love
Very
Sean saying that there was a guy behind him who thought he was videoing his teenage daughter as well. With like, being up to like looking at his skills, like, "Are you videoing my daughter?" And like Sean was like, "No, I'm trying to film the game." So you came in handy, Barry. You were probably giving him a distraction to like when you were doing the old YouTube videos. So it didn't look like Sean was videoing that guy's daughter.
Well, it still looked like he was filming
Did
that,
it?
that guy's daughter.
It was off his rocker by then anyway, wasn't he? Battered.
Yeah,
on
a few
full
snake
pints,
bites
snake
and black did flow. Let's just say, and let's
Elvino did flow.
Yeah, let's just say he and I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, and if he does, I don't really care either. But in true Shelfside Spurs, way, no, he decided. I sent him a message. I said, "Oh, where are you? I'm in.
Where are you? My friends are boring me. I can't wait to get away from him and come see you complete strangers instead."
Well, I actually said, I sent a picture of us walking to the stadium, and then I said, "I'll be with you soon." I didn't say you were boring.
Kiss? Any kiss on the end? Or
no? Let me just check. I don't think there was a kiss. No. Let me just check. Hang on.
No, it's just a dick pic.
And kids, he means
I'll
dick dastard.
I'll raise you your dick pic. With this was the dick pic that was sent.
Dick dastard. That's what I was doing. I used to send that.
Lads, I've got to ask because this song is
Mr.
doing my
Sophie
brain.
is in the house.
This gimme song.
Yeah.
How's it go? Come on, give him. How's it go?
Gimme from Sweden. That's the only bit I know.
He came from Juventus and he plays on the wing.
But what tunes it's supposed to be? Is it ABBA?
Gimme,
ABBA,
by ABBA, yeah.
I've heard about 3 or 4 different
Number
versions.
21, his name is Kulusevski. And so on.
What about Bentancur? He needs a song.
Yeah, there is a song.
About Wednesday nights. Yeah, it's the reason we're playing Wednesday night.
Wednesday next season. And that's the only bit I know.
We'll get a copyright strike. What's going on?
No, sorry. Gimme a ginger from Sweden. He came from Juventus and he plays on the wing. Yeah, etc.
Yeah, I can't remember the rest of the Bentancur song, but
in honor of Nick, in honor of you, on during the West Ham game, we came up with a song for you as well. I did put it on the group yesterday. The Wheatus one.
Oh yeah.
I'm just a YouTube fanboy, baby. I sit in your lap in the South Stand, maybe.
And I think Alan
I missed that. If it's in, or you got your own different group.
Yes.
No. We are Tottenham TV, baby, with you.
I'm out if this is going to continue. You'll be down to 3 again, wanker.
You can find me on Spurs Wasion, baby.
Well, I think they are very lovely chaps, and I don't care. So,
how do you fit Tantrum into that?
I love them. I'm a fucking member, so I can talk.
Yeah, gold member.
Yeah,
I love Spurs.
You're certainly a member.
See Al? See what's happened? You've
driven Bobby away.
Unbelievable.
They send us out to try and get guests, and what happens? We get ribbed for it after coming back.
Mate, I don't care. I don't
Alatici might have to hang his coat up.
Oh, don't you start. It's only been 20
Oh, here he goes. How long into the stream are we? 20 minutes and he's retired again.
Every 4 days. Every 4 days. I can't. I'm thinking of retiring. Oh.
I've got a death threat at the pub the other week from him up there in the corner.
Who?
He told me if I didn't find anyone soon, he's going to get me killed.
I didn't say that.
Well, something similar. You said
No, Alan, we're jesting with you. Don't
Oh,
take
well.
everything to heart.
Oh,
Christ,
you mean
I just had 5 minutes of getting completely destroyed. You know.
I'm
Hey,
just
what-
a
hey, what
YouTube
happens?
fanboy, baby. I
And I
sit
love
in
you.
your lap,
Now,
baby,
Higgins,
dancing, maybe.
Sean Butler, Ben and Sim, Irish
Oh.
Hotspur, Jack Konecki. Who else was there?
Danny.
Monday night was
Danny.
Monday night was a rave.
Ellie,
What time did you
the
boys
Boom.
finish?
Alex, THFC.
Yeah, you still tried squeezing
Graham.
in the row next to him.
What time did you boys finish on Monday night, stroke Tuesday morning?
Huh?
Monday night,
night.
stroke Tuesday morning.
No, I got back about 11.
Oh.
11 past 11.
Yes, from
Oh,
Collins,
with Sean Butler's thing.
from Colin on to Sean.
Oh,
Bloody
don't
hell.
what? When I fell asleep.
Yeah. 2 o'clock in the morning.
I had to go
2
at one.
o'clock
I
in the
couldn't
morning.
handle it. I couldn't stand it any longer. It was too good, but I couldn't stand it.
So basically, Colin started the stream, and he was there for a couple of hours.
I was there.
and then apparently wife problems erupted. And then to be honest, I just think that he fancied a bit, really, and was just using that as an excuse. So he left us, and it was Sean said it was a very, very strange thing to be on someone else's stream without that person being there. You know, it was a bit odd. But we
Do you want
we
to try
went
it again now?
and then it was like this. Yeah,
I mean, that's much better, if I'm honest. You know? He still has control. So it's not like it was the other night where people were commenting. We couldn't put the comments up. We had to read through the comments. We were like, what do we talk about now? Hello, he's back.
So yeah, we had to do that. How does the Nick song go again? So it's I'm just a
YouTube fanboy, baby. I'll sit on your lap in the South Stand, maybe.
Watching We Are Tottenham TV, baby, with you. Ooh,
Nick's a dirtbag. Oh yeah.
No, leave him alone.
I am YouTube Paul. I don't.
You're human.
Say that I'm not. It's fine, right? You know.
We're
I
all
was on
media
that.
whores.
Exactly.
Who can remember Danny's nickname? We remember we said we had to come up with a nickname for him to differentiate him from Danny Kiriaki, and it was Danny Alan Hutton, wasn't it? Because I thought it was Alan Hutton in his little emoji there. It's Lucas Moore of it.
Yeah.
Alan
Danny
Hutton, so we were calling him Danny Hutton or Danny
Hutton.
Ali Hutton, didn't we? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Alan, where did you watch the game on Sunday?
In the same old place in front of me in my bedroom.
Thank you and good night. Did you enjoy the game?
Yeah, it was enjoyable. The only time I felt any danger is after they scored. When they scored, I thought, oh blimey, the way they scored, because of that silly corner given away. I just thought, oh, it's going to happen. You know, it's going to happen. I think I said on somewhere that if we went 3-0 up like we did previous year, after their 120 minutes, I wouldn't see them coming back. But
Gazza said to me on 85 minutes, he goes, "This has got 2-2 written all over it." And I think the whole stadium was probably thinking that, weren't we? After the chances we missed, we kept missing the chance. And here we go, 2-2. They hadn't had a sniff in the second half.
That's right. Yeah.
Rez, did you enjoy the game from the toilet or face down in the Armitage Shanks?
I actually threw up just before the game, so that actually made me feel a bit better. Rather than
so did I when I saw Nick Fornin behind We Are Tottenham TV. I was throwing up in my mouth.
It was good. It was good. But yeah, when they got their goal, it was like, fuck, this is gonna happen again, isn't it? And it was like, but then when we went 3-1 up, it was like, that's it, we won this. And I actually relaxed. It was good. It was good. It was a
like
really
relief, joy,
lovely atmosphere.
bragging rights for the international break. Yeah, the atmosphere was good. Yeah. Nick, were you in the same boat as us? You thought, here we go, 2-2, 2-1 up. Last 5 minutes.
When that corner came, we were discussing, obviously, the YouTube community that I was sat with were discussing that we were worried that that West Ham would score. However, they didn't. And then obviously, you can see the match day vlogs and various appearances that I made, and you'll see what happened after that. So
should we be tuning in then to hear your thoughts?
Well, no, you'll see me photobombing various day vlogs, and that was about it, really. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'll have to consult them to see whether I'll be welcome as a permanent feature, as I'm clearly, not welcome here anymore. Or...
tell us about.
Did you actually watch any of the game? Or did you
tell us about
staring at Danny Kiriakou into his eyes, like adoringly?
Tell us about your close personal friendship with Sean Butler.
I had a very interesting afternoon with the YouTube community, and I didn't have a boring afternoon with my friends.
Ooh,
I'm only joking. I can give it as well as take it, and don't take that in the wrong way. I just realised what I said.
We saw you giving it and taking it up in the rows up behind us, man. I tell you.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What could I do?
Big Al, what did you make of Hugo's performance on Sunday?
Well, other than sort of picking the ball out the net, taking a few catches, and punting that ball up for the third goal, he didn't have to do a lot, really, did he? He didn't have to do a lot.
His kicking was good. Yeah,
yeah,
couldn't do it. I did see someone on Twitter say he should have done better with a goal, but we were right behind that, and it was flicked right over, and then he hit it first time. Then the guy caught him before he could get across there. I don't know, Rez and Alan, who were watching it on telly, did they say whose man was it? Sonny's man that broke off around the back, or did he run around the back of the line?
They were. Yeah. It's one of those ones you're never going to be. Everyone be permanently marked. Someone's going to fall asleep some way.
Well, ultimately, look. I mean, that's the whole point of set pieces, is that it's that's why weaker teams. I'm not saying in this instance West Ham, I'm talking generally. Weaker teams, like set pieces, because it gives them a greater advantage. It happens. It's part of football. So I don't get that aggravated if we concede a set piece goal. I get aggravated if we give away a lot of set pieces, because that's different. If you give away
onto your player, Rez, Doc, he sort of gave it away unnecessarily, didn't he?
Well, but again, you see, that's the thing. If he'd done the same mistake, like 4 or 5 times in that match, I would be a bit more critical. But as I've been saying, every player makes mistakes.
Well, I couldn't actually see what happened, Rez. What happened? Because from where I was in the south, I couldn't see that corner.
It was as if it hit his left foot, and then when he went to go for his right, he knocked it too far at an angle for him to be able to get his right foot.
Trying to clear it out up the line, was in.
Yeah.
Right. So,
he tried to trap it with his left, and it rolled off at an angle where he couldn't even wrap his right around it.
Right. So,
other than that, though, Rez, he had a good game, didn't he? I thought he had set up the first goal with a good interception and drive.
Absolutely. And that's what, let's say, out of the last 4 games, he didn't. A lot of people have been having a go. He didn't play badly against Man United. And he played well against West Ham, and he played well against Everton, and he played well. Who do you play before Everton? Leeds. He's doing better. So I don't have any. I've got no issues with Matt Doherty's performance against West Ham on Sunday. It was fine. It was competent. It was better than we've had at right back this season. Altogether, it was
context,
a solid performance. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Bazwar, you've got Romero.
Oh, absolute. I think it. For me, he is a proper defender that knows when to make those tackles like he was flying in against Richarlison against Everton. He knows where, he lost the ball late on in the second half and then tracked all the way back and just, nudged the guy, not whoever it was, off the ball to get it back. Obviously he likes going forward. I mean, for me, the last 2 games in particular, he's been outstanding all season, but the last 2 games in particular, he has been, an absolute rock there, and a million miles away from Bambi or anyone else that will potentially be in that position, and it's just made a massive difference. We were saying the other day obviously on another stream that I was on, that it's like we got that. It doesn't surprise you. We've got that spine. We've got the spine of the team again, right? From Romero through to Bentancur through to Kane. It's almost, we've got that spine with the people alongside them that are actually contributing and supporting one another. And just incredible, really. Just to see him, and he didn't get booked, which is, I don't know whether that was a good thing or a bad thing. I hope we just get the bookings and the suspensions out of the way before. He's got 3 more games to pick up 2 more bookings to get a 2-game ban. So if he can avoid one in the next 3, then 2. Then that's Liverpool and potentially Arsenal, which we don't want him banned for those 2 games. Obviously.
No, the next 2 games, is it Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Brighton? If he doesn't pick up another booking, or doesn't pick up 2 bookings, then he won't miss 2 games afterwards.
Yeah,
because he cut off.
So he would actually be back just in time for Liverpool if we actually.
He reminds me of.
Unless he gets straight red.
Yeah, true.
He reminds me of those characters in soaps when they're talking about their girlfriend and they go, "She is great, isn't she?" You just find yourself just thinking about Romero again. He is great, isn't he? He is great. He is great, and I love him. I love his shithousery,
me too.
You get the Everton game where he kneed the bloke in the head when he was getting up and just laughing in the guy's face. The Man United game, he's just a proper Lamella type shithouse, isn't he?
And that's the thing.
He is great, isn't he?
I got a little bit, not annoyed, but I was a bit confused by people saying, no, he shouldn't have done that to Maguire. No, it's just not on. No. It's like, fuck off.
I loved it. I loved it.
People to be like, we want what Mourinho said. We want them to be nasty cunts.
Yeah.
And he is on the pitch. And so I like that. I don't care that we lost that game. And I don't care if it was hubris or if it was, pride before a fall. Do that. Wind up the opposition, because when you wind someone up, they make mistakes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Someone said on a stream the other day, I think Alan Barry were on it. It was he's when he's out of possession, he's like really aggressive and fast, but then when he's in possession, he's really calm and assured and excellent on the ball, isn't he? He's just perfect blend of player. A good one to chalk up for Paratici.
Yeah, I think Dyer had a very good game. At the end of the day, he made sure he controlled the back line. He kept everything in shape and no silly passes. Never gave players room to shoot like Ronaldo against Man U. I couldn't see that. You're giving me players that didn't have to do a lot. As I say, I don't think West Ham done much apart from when we gave them the ball. I don't remember West Ham winning a 50-50.
That was the most pleasing thing for me, Alan, because we dominated possession, didn't we? And we were the better team as well. I said to my brother, I'd like to see the stats of the amount of chances we created and the shots we had compared to them. I think David Moyes said that we were just sitting back waiting to hit them on the break, but that was nonsense, wasn't it? If you look at the possession and the shot stats.
Yeah, it was a misplay. Every time they caused us any kinds of problem, it was because we never got that pass 100%. It was a misplaced pass. They gained the ball. They never won the ball. To be honest, but Dyer, he played blind. There
was a guy behind. Sorry, Rez. There was a guy behind us every time we were playing out from the back. The usual. Stop pissing around at the back. Get it forward. Hit it. Get it forward. And we're like, That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to lure West Ham in by playing it short. That's why we're playing well, because we're playing it short.
Who's that in the corner with Romero when they done that little
that's good. That was second half.
It was superb, but I must admit, it was one of those things you're thinking.
Sadly, it was Emerson. Emerson, Kulusevski, and Romero.
I think we need to start as a fan base altogether. I think we need to start giving Dyer a bit more credit for this season, right? Last season, put it aside, right? This season, he's been
context on its own.
Yeah. This season, he has been competent, capable, and he's
reliable,
done a decent job.
Consistent.
Yeah.
I
can't. You can only point to one or two.
And we missed him when he was out, didn't we? We really missed him when he was out. Yeah.
And we can point to individual errors, but again, you got to come back to the idea that a player will make mistakes. Every player makes mistakes. Kane makes mistakes, and he's one of the best players in the world by all accounts. So
one of the best things I like, Rez, during the game when Antonio elbowed him. He was kicking, he was going mad, but then the ball carried on, and he just switched completely, and then went and defended the second phase, and then carried on. That's which I was really impressed by that, because he didn't get disconnected.
He could have done though. He could have gone down and stayed down.
Yeah, but how no one has how VAR didn't pick it up, how the FA haven't retrospectively gone and looked at it is an absolute joke, and it just goes to prove.
When they did that Monday morning thing on Sky, Alan, did they show the elbow on Dyer? I didn't.
I was a bit late on that on Monday.
I know you said they were going on about the ball being kicked at Sonny, weren't they, and him going down? But did they mention the elbow on Dyer? Probably not.
I literally caught that bit, and that was I didn't catch anything right earlier. I must admit, I didn't think. I'd only just turned the TV on, so I couldn't even rewind it to see what happened.
There's a few tweeting in the FA and the Premier League, weren't there?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, again, how often do we end up talking about it and mentioning it? The absolute abysmal standard of officiating in English football. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it was more to do with what they were more cooing over bloody Mike Dean bloody retiring than they were.
Yeah. Well, I was celebrating when they said about Mike Dean retiring, because I thought brilliant. And then they broke bad news afterwards.
As long as he doesn't officiate the North London derby, and that's my worry.
Yeah. Well, be careful, boys, because he's being moved over to the VAR next year, isn't he? He's becoming head of the VAR
after his game at VAR. And I thought,
wept.
So we can't get. He ain't retiring.
Now
he's just not going to be running around making an
appearance. The criticism of him is that he tries to make the games about himself, and he doesn't let the players take centre stage. No. Do you think he's going to do that next year when he's in charge of VAR? He's going to be coming up with dodgy decisions all the time just to make it all about him and the VAR, isn't he? So the last thing they needed was someone like him in charge of VAR.
Although with him, that's the point. If he's in charge of VAR, does that mean that he's going to be actually doing matches, or is he going to look after the whole thing? That's the key. Because I mean, is he going to be like the supervisor of those that do VAR, or is he actually going to be doing VAR during matches? If it's the latter, then you're going to get ridiculous calls.
The very meaning of the word, the blind leading the blind, isn't it? Here,
yeah, it really is. It really is.
I mean, it's going to be so underhand. You've got Mike Riley at top of the tree, and then you've got him next down. And it's like them two together make you think, what's football?
The worst. I mean, the only way you could make the administration of refereeing in this country any worse would be if you gave the job to Mark fucking Clattenburg, right? That's the only way you could make it worse.
I believe he's in Dubai or the Emirates, isn't he? Like running the referees out there, I believe.
Yeah. Which just goes to show how shite they are that he has that's the standard that he can reach. He can't actually do referee administration for any other country, any country that higher up than the likes of Dubai or Qatar or whichever one he's gone on to,
Alatici, do you want to comment on this one? You're not having it, are you?
Would Dybala be? No. I've heard that we're not getting. All I know is I've been told we ain't getting a striker in the summer. They're going to look at using Kulu if Kane gets injured.
The fuck?
Yeah.
To save their budget for elsewhere.
Yeah,
I guess
they're putting the money elsewhere. But I've heard that we're not getting another striker, and they'll use Kulu if Kane gets injured or whatever. So
he does have similar attributes in a positive frame of mind. He does have similar attributes, doesn't he, Kulu? But my boy Hakimi might be available as well. Rez, he's the right wing back. He's probably the best one out there, and he's available. Apparently, he wants to leave PSG, so hopefully Conte can persuade him, and he won't be short of takers, will he? I mean, that'd be ideal, wouldn't it? If we need a right wing back and the best one out there is available, and he worked with Conte before, who made him as a player pretty much. Yeah, be interesting if we could get him. Iggy, have you heard anything in the Italian end about Dybala? Said Alan's heard from his ITK and sources on what's that forum you're on? The Tottenham, whatever you call it.
Oh, Spurs community.
Spurs community. That it's not happening with Dybala.
On the risk? No.
I've not been on for a while. I've got it open on my Chrome all the time, but I haven't checked in for ages.
Other internet browsers are available.
Yeah.
Chrome is the best. If Chrome want to sponsor us.
Yeah. I mean,
or our stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I mean, this is the thing. The whole should we be getting Dybala or not is only part of the question.
Does Conte want him?
No, it's bigger than that. It's a question of it comes back to that word budget again. So again, we're going to be basically being parsimonious with our money again, are we? What happened to the fucking game changer, Mr. Levy? The stadium's open. It's been full for the full season now, right? And on top of everything else, you're putting tickets on general fucking sale. Yeah? So where's the money? Why are we scrimping and not getting another striker to save money?
We haven't had one for 6 years, so what's the 7th year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Iggy, which of the Inter midfielders is available on a free? Is it Barella? One of the two is available, aren't they? They're two centre midfielders that it'd be handy to get.
Didn't he?
Yeah, one of them did, and the other one said he's leaving.
Apparently, because Brozovic
I think it's Barella.
So
26.
He's decent to be fair. Davis, Rez, Benny Davis, Benny D, the Ben Meister.
Again, solid, dependable. Since Conte's arrived, has been consistent. Hasn't let us down really. You
think he'll stick around if we do get another left-sided centre back? Do you think he'll stick around?
He's at that age where the choice
he might want to play regularly. Yeah.
Well, this is the point. This is the question. Does he want to play regularly? In which case he'd have to drop down the divisions, let's say, or drop down the sort of league to a smaller club, or would he be happy to be a backup and say, and mentor the youth, if you like? I have no issues with Davis. I've said it before. A lot of the time, his mistakes notwithstanding, the guy works hard, and that's all I can ask for from a player. And he's been dependable and consistent, and hasn't really done anything wrong since Conte's arrived. So if he stays around and we get another left-sided defender, I'll be happy. If we get another left-sided defender and he leaves, I won't be disappointed. But we need an upgrade on Davis, I will say.
Sometimes it's better to be part of something than the whole of nothing, isn't it? You could be part of our rebuild and next season kicking on.
I don't think any player is going to want to be too much. Players are going to ask to leave if they're going to be a backup because they've got the World Cup coming up, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean,
that's going to interrupt the season completely.
Don't get started on that. Bloody hell, there's so many things I could rant about today.
Yeah, I've got you a couple. Don't you worry. Don't worry. Barry, yeah, Reggie. What did you think of Reggie? He could have had 2 or 3 goals, maybe 4.
The last, if Real Madrid want to come in with a £40 million bid, then I will sell him tomorrow. I don't. I genuinely don't see what's happened, or don't understand what's happened to him since that first time he got injured. He came in, he had that impact, got injured, and he's not been the same player since, that first injury, however long ago that was. Then he's had COVID a couple of times, and his finishing is poor. It seems he gets into positions, his first touch is always away from goal, or he's looking to draw contact and falls over. Cess is, you can see why Conte is obviously put that faith in Cess. Obviously, he's he needs to sort out the injury issues. But I wouldn't be, if I'm honest. He's it's not the first position that needs addressing. I wouldn't be upset if he went in the summer and we used the money. The same with Stevie B or Lucas Moura, if we had some money from them to reinvest back into the team. But I think
somewhere Scott M just woke up. Is Lucas Moura leaving? What?
Yeah,
like the Undertaker, he sat up in his bed.
Yeah, but I think he should have had a couple at Brighton, couple at West Ham, maybe one against United. That he in theory should be our third highest goal scorer instead of own goals. If I'm being honest,
he was waiting for something to happen when he went through, wasn't he? He was like, "Shit, what happens now?" He was just hoping that it would he'd be left with no option but to shoot on his left foot or his right foot. But before he knew it, the defender and the goalie were on him. He hadn't decided what he was going to do, and then
So I think out of everyone, I think he probably had the poorest game out of anyone on that pitch against West Ham.
Yeah, I think so. That's
maybe Josh. He just doesn't want to put their noses out of joint. The fullbacks, the wing backs are at the club already. That's the only thing I can think why he hasn't tried Stevie B or Lucas in those positions already, because he's got the 2 on the right and the 2 on the left, and maybe if he's trying them out in training, it risks pissing off the 2 incumbents in each of those positions, don't it? Otherwise, I agree with you. I don't know why he hasn't tried Lucas and Stevie in those positions yet.
The one thing we've got to bear in mind, it's what the modern wing back or modern fullback encompasses. The modern fullback has to probably be the most complete footballer out of any other position on the pitch.
Certainly the fittest, Rez. Certainly the fittest.
Yeah, they've got to have everything, absolutely everything. Now, obviously, our fullbacks don't have everything in spades, right? Emerson doesn't have a clue as to how to behave beyond the halfway line. Matt Doherty is not that bad defensively, but is much more of an attacking wing back rather than a defensive one, so he's still not complete. Reggie seems to sort of lose all sense of spatial awareness in the opposition third, and Cess is incredibly young.
Reggie's feet work too fast for his brain, don't they?
Yeah. It's almost like he doesn't. It's almost like, oh my god, I've got here. Now what do I do? And no one seems to, which I don't understand. I mean, he won the Europa League with Sevilla, with them, and he was an integral part of that team, right? So, what is it that he had that kept him in that team all the way to the trophy? Surely there's something there. He wasn't being played as a fullback in that squad either. He was being played as a wing back, from what I understand. Maybe I've got that wrong. Anyway, it's this whole thing of, Spurs players come to Spurs and something happens to them. The hope is that Conte can change that. But right now, fullback in both sides are the highest priority.
I suppose he's got the perfect excuse to try Stevie at left wing back, hasn't he? With the injuries we've got there, so we've only got one fit left wing back with Reggie, with Cess being out, haven't we? So he's got an excuse to try. It's another muscle injury, so another 4 to 6 weeks.
The problem there is that if you put, let's say you want to try Lucas Moura at right wing back or Stevie B at left wing back, that's a position conversion. That is a player having to learn a new position. I know there's similarities, but it's ultimately fullback to wing back is an easier transition than, you know, left forward, right forward to left and right wing back. And I can understand why Conte isn't doing that.
Stevie can do it, Raz, because he's very responsible out of possession. You know, like we saw last year under Mourinho, he did all his donkey work all the time. He helped the right back, didn't he, all the time, and he was really disciplined. And whenever he lost the ball, he was tracking back and doubling up. So I think he's got the mindset to do it. I do.
He'd still need to train to do it. He'd have to learn the position. You know, obviously the manager will be able to instruct him as to what's required of him, sure, but there will always it's muscle memory ultimately. Yeah. You know, he's got to unlearn being a left forward or left winger and learn to adjust his game. That takes time.
I think it's something that if he's going to try and do it, would be during the pre-season, if you know what I mean. So that if we lose, it's not the end of the world. Whereas at the moment, you don't really want to be losing points, so you don't want to take chances on players. You know, I mean,
he's also our backup striker at the moment, isn't he, Al? Conte said he's our backup to Kane.
But when he done it with Moses,
he's not. We don't need a backup. We don't need a backup.
We've got Bentancur.
We're not going to be buying one. We've got
Kulusevski. Yeah.
Sorry, Alan. I just wanted to do a mini rant.
I guess it all depends on what happens. If Reggie gets injured, he's going to be forced into making a decision, right? Because Ben Davies is not quick enough to play at left wing back.
Wing back. No. Definitely not.
Alan, you have got Rodrigo motherfucking Bentancur, the fucking Don himself.
Do I need to say any more other than man of the match for the last God knows how many games he's played? He just seems to have so much control, and I mean, I'm still go to sleep and
say he wasn't very good against Man United.
No, he wasn't.
No, but he had that drag back he done against West Ham. It's like, wow, it was just like
the best moment during the game was when he lost possession on the right hand side in the second half, and he hunted the guy down, didn't he, for about the next 5 minutes, and then just came in the side and took the ball away and straight up and created a chance for us. Yeah, he was like a dog with the ball, wasn't he?
Yeah, he does has so much composure on the ball. I mean, I know we ain't meant to compare him to him, but the last person we had that composure with was Dembele. I don't think he's as strong as him yet. I don't think
Modric as well. He moves the ball first and second touch, which I love. He always receives the ball with an open body shape. So he's always thinking of his next pass before he's even received his first one.
And he looks for a better passes rather than the short pass.
Forward passes and quick passes.
Yeah. But I mean, you can see him even looking his head up and looking to think, right, is that long pass on? And if he doesn't, then he finds another pass.
Glenn Hoddle famously said, Alan,
is he 25, isn't he?
24.
Glenn
Hoddle famously said, Alan, you always look for the long pass first, and then if it isn't on, you can reduce your radar. It's different. It's easier to do that than to look for a short one. There's nothing on, and then to look up and so you adjust your radar accordingly.
Yeah, well, that is. I think
apparently, if you look at, I'm not saying this as anything, but Sean Butler actually mentioned this on the stream the other night. If you look at Højbjerg's stats, he did better than Bentancur.
Yeah.
Again. We know what we think. You know what stats mean on their own.
Well, yeah, but this is the thing that I thought that Bentancur played really well. I thought that Højbjerg played really well. Yep. So much so that I decided to put the line through his name. after his I actually went and found it and put it in.
He's been great the last 3 or 4 games. Højbjerg, he has been great.
They've
Certainly answered his critics, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
Of which there were plenty.
Everyone's been playing at a decent level minimum.
We've got
Even
a good
against
side.
Maybe that's the change that Conte wanted to bring.
Yeah,
Even
against Man United, we did not play badly.
No, I don't think we deserved to lose against Man U.
We didn't. Not in terms of the performance of each individual as each human. What's it called? Collective team. Spurs as a team played far better than Man United as a team. The difference is that they had one individual player, that was just completely unplayable that day.
And had the needle with the manager from leaving him out of the Manchester derby the game before.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the end of it. So we have since going back 5 games now, I reckon it would be, we've been playing well. We can play better. We've not been playing as well as Spurs should play, given the type of club we are, but we've been playing better than we've played for a while now.
And the most important thing with that, Rez, is that we've gone from -2 or 3 to +11 goal difference as well.
There you go.
Exactly. 2 off of the games, aren't we now?
Yeah. You know,
a big part of that has been that the man that you've got next, Barry, Kulusevski, Decky.
Isn't it not Rez?
He's just had Højbjerg.
Sorry. Wasn't
Are
paying.
you gazing at a picture of Danny Kyriaki somewhere and not paying attention, or? No denial there, was there?
No denial, mate. No denial.
We've got to get Danny on this show. Just perhaps just put in with Nick.
I don't think we can bear to see Nick getting excited in his pants in that way on a live stream.
No. The whole stream, Nick will just be like this.
Yeah, he is great, isn't he?
He is great, though.
He is great.
He is great, though, isn't he?
I was actually shocked.
He smells great as well.
I was shocked when I met him in the pub.
I'll see what I can do.
When I met him in the pub, I was actually shocked. When you see him on the screen, I always thought he was a little bit taller than. He's quite short, isn't he?
He's not the tallest,
I don't know, Alan. I wasn't looking at his height.
Nick was sat on his lap, so he couldn't get any perception as to how
tall he was. Why you don't notice.
You were just gazing at his face.
Are his knees knobbly, Nick, or was that something else in his pocket?
Have you got his trainers in place yet?
I don't give away.
You don't kiss and tell.
Kiss and tell. There's no kiss and tell stories here.
Have you got the trainers in the right place?
The ginger from Sweden, absolutely has made a massive impact on, from coming in the first couple of games. Everyone was saying he was slow. He just needed time to adapt. He doesn't need to be quick. His brain is just ahead of, he's
Teddy Sheringham-esque, isn't it? His brain works quick.
His brain is just incredible. He's, the vision, the passes, the tackles that he's putting in. It's kind of held that right hand side as well, like we were talking about with that spine with Romero, in the fact that they're all playing they're all coming up and driving together and making space for Son, making space for Kane, providing the assists. He's done more in those 6 games than the Celso's done ever, I think. So,
and who knew that ginger people could be useful? Who knew?
Strawberry blonde.
Massive racist.
Strawberry blonde.
Massive racist.
Gingerish.
Yeah, gingerish.
We love you as well, Colin, by the way. We got nothing against gingers.
Colin's ginger.
As long as they do something, right?
Yeah.
If they don't, we hate them. And then eventually they become cult figures like Gary Doherty.
There is one I'm not too keen on, and he goes out with my daughter.
Really? Do you want to? Have you got a message for him now?
Alan, I'm just going to put a disclaimer in. Do not mention anything. If you want us to clip it and mention it for the next 5 days,
Forever.
Yeah.
because we cannot be held responsible for our actions.
Absolutely.
He's a gooner. He's a lovely lad. He's a lovely lad, but he's got that problem. He's
How
a gooner.
can he be?
How can he
a
be?
gooner?
Have you not had the word yet, Al? Have you not like pushed him down the stairs or something? You know, just
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
he's a
Have
lovely
you,
lad.
have you sat your
And
daughter
it's
down
good,
and had a little chat with her? Said, "What are you
Does
playing
not
at?"
go in the same sentence. Al.
I've sat the daughter down. She knows I'm disappointed, but she won't.
Have you not turned to her and said, "Why are you sullying the family name?"
Yeah.
And she blames me for not going out and meeting Tom Holland to try and change Tom Holland's mind to his. You know, if I'd gone out, met Tom Holland and brought him home, she would have dumped him. But no.
So
He's a
that's
Tottenham
what
fan,
you
isn't
got to do. And that's what you got to do, Al.
I heard something scandalous today. In fact, boys, for work. I've got to do a podcast about the Queen, and I was looking up some interesting facts about the Queen. The Queen is an Arsenal fan.
Really?
The Queen is an Arsenal fan.
No.
So I nearly cancelled the whole project. I was like, "What?"
She's also good at getting people to remove people. Allegedly, I don't want to tarnish the Queen with
No, she isn't. She can't do that. She doesn't work that quickly. Yeah, I think Nick has been Princess Diana. Well, mind you, you look a bit more like Dodi El Fayed, don't you, than Princess Diana? There's another name for you.
Yeah,
Dodi.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going nowhere near any tunnels. Let's just put it that way.
No, not tonight.
Forever.
Unless Danny Kiriaku's in town.
Oh,
Oh dear. Rez, what have you done with our banner? There we go. We've thrown us off completely. A Big Al, you've got Kane, haven't you? Harry Kane, SHK, Super Harry Kane.
yeah. I feel so sorry for him that he never had another couple of assists because of Reggie. You know, he's pinging in balls around like no man business.
He nearly set a record, didn't he? Was it 5 or 6 games in a row scoring?
Yeah. And I was shocked that he actually how he missed that. Usually he would just put his foot for it, wouldn't he? That one that when
Højbjerg flicked it up. Yeah,
I think
Although he broke a record last game though.
he did.
Yeah,
Most away goals in the Premier League.
Yeah. So.
But
I've actually got a banner to talk about later, which we can bring forward now. Actually, talking of record breakers, will Harry overtake Gary Lineker and Bobby Charlton this international break? He's on 47. He's on 48 at the moment, so level with Gary Lineker. So he needs one more to go level with Bobby Charlton and overtake Gary Lineker. And he's 4 off of Rooney, 5 off of Rooney. Do you reckon he'll do it this international break, or is it more like the next one?
I'm actually bricking it. I'm hoping he don't get a play on Saturday, to be honest with you.
He'll want to because of that on the screen.
Yeah, I know, but
is it only the one game or is it 2 games?
2.
It's a Switzerland.
We've got Ivory Coast next Tuesday, and who have we got on Saturday? Switzerland and Ivory Coast.
And that just worries me with a Granit Xhaka playing for Switzerland. It does worry me because, to be honest with you, he's not exactly the tightest of tacklers, is he? You know.
Nah, shame Eric Dyer's not there to smash him up.
The thought of making sure that Kane don't finish the season could be going through Xhaka's head.
You going to see the game, Nick? You taking the kids to the England game?
No. We're not going to any. Not this weekend. We have shows, football games, training. No,
Danny Kiriaku's to stare at.
No. Or anyone else, or Iggy, Stel, anyone else.
Rez, you've got Scott. That's Sonny. Heung-min Son. What performance?
Yeah, really good. I'm still worried about him. I'm still worried that he's not. There's something not right. He's still a bit. There's nothing concrete I can point to. It's just every time he gets the ball, he seems less comfortable than I've seen him before. and I'm just worried that there's something preying on his mind, or that he's just tired. Excuse me. Maybe it's just been overplayed this season, and he just needs a rest. That's what I think it is anyway. But yeah, he's still, as I said before, he is a performance machine that just needs a bit of TLC, I think. So he will still be able to, score and assist and do good things. But I think he can do better than he's doing. And I think he needs a bit of a rest. But other than that, yeah, it was great to see him bag a couple. And again, just like the rest of the team, he played really well, So yeah.
Do you think the gesture was at the Tottenham fans or at West Ham fans, because they obviously racially abuse him all the time, don't they?
I wondered about
the
that.
video, and it's like they go on about him selling videos and all that rubbish.
I wondered if that was at them, because I thought that was our end.
Well, he ran on the first goal. He ran to our end. He went to the West End, and he done that and the pictures. Yeah. And then just before they headed back to the halfway line, he turned around and faced the West Ham and went.
I was doing my own one-fingered salute to the West Ham fans at that stage.
Yeah,
it was a double whammy.
I would have done that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, again, that's good. I don't, he gets, because of his nationality,
because of the standards he set.
No, because of his nationality, he gets ridiculous amounts of abuse, right? More than English players, purely because he's not English. And as far as I'm concerned, if he wants to tell West Ham fans to fuck off, that's just him being Mr. Tottenham, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah.
Speaking of nationalities, Rez, didn't you do a little project during the game the other day about how many times the commentators mentioned
right. Yeah. So
nationality? Do you want to touch on that briefly for those that didn't see it on Tommy's, or was it Talking Ball?
It was on
Collins, was it?
Yeah, for me, I've said before, and I think I've made it quite clear that I'm, completely against all kinds of prejudice and discrimination. And, I've fought the fight myself, and I don't have any truck with racism or anything like that. However, I don't like being told what to think, right? And what we get with Sky and the whole taking of the knee thing is tokenism and being told this is the way that you need to think. And the hypocrisy that goes with that is highlighted by the fact that during the commentary for the West Ham game, I think it was like, I've got the somewhere, I've got to go and think, something like 9 times or 7 times or something like that in the half, they made mention of a player's nationality. And it's like, which is it? Are you against racism but for jingoism? Is that what it is? So you don't care. You want to say that everyone is equal, and yet you're making, you're discriminating or making a big deal about the fact that this player is from Sweden, that player is from England, that player is a Spaniard in their parlance. That gets on my nerves. Right, I decided a long time ago that I was against racism. I don't need a fucking football player to take the knee to tell me that it's wrong. And you know what? It doesn't work anyway, right? No one is going to pay attention to that. They come to their own conclusion. The only way that you can get them to actually understand if someone is a racist, the only way that you're going to get them to not be a racist is by talking to them, right? Not talking at them. And this hypocrisy just pisses me off. It really does. Okay? If you're really against racism, don't mention players' nationalities. Don't put the little flag of their country next to every fucking graphic that you put up. That is my position on it.
Totally agree.
So moving on from the game then, Spurs in the news. Just a quick bit of fun before we move on here. Can we get the panel's answer to this question there? Nick, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, their fans at the weekend were shocking. Not because that just from their normal horrendous.
They weren't very loud, were they? They weren't very loud at all.
No,
Hardly
they
heard
weren't
them on
very
TV.
loud. And for us to, bearing in mind that sometimes we can be quite quiet as a fan base at games and everything else, that was, it was just really, really, really strange. But to answer your question of whether they get battered everywhere you go, we'll just hang on. I'll just confirm with my with some people in the South Stand what they think.
Get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go.
We'll have to get Rez to do a lounge act version of that. Rez, can you do a lounge act like in the style of the Danny Kiriaki song? Can you do that?
Yeah. West Ham get battered everywhere they go. West Ham get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go.
It's like a show tune. It's like from Chicago. Guys and dolls.
Yep.
And just on that note, Gareth Bale has just scored for Wales.
Get in there.
Is
I'm off a task.
Ben Davies playing and Joe Roden? Do we know?
I don't know. I haven't looked, but I can look.
Did you have a little sing-song at home, Al? To the West Ham get battered?
Oh, I get involved in whatever I can hear him singing. I mean, as I say, since Sunday, I don't think I've sung anything else really, mainly other than West Ham get battered everywhere they go, or give me a ginger from Sweden.
Ginger from Sweden.
But I had different wording for it. I had it, give me a ginger from Sweden, Dejan Kulusevski, and he plays on the wing. That's what I've been singing.
It works.
Roden is playing, by the way.
25-yard free kick from Bale, an absolute stunner, apparently.
Brilliant.
Good old lad. Rez, anything to
get in there, boy?
Anything to mention on screen, Rez? Or
well, actually, yeah. Funnily enough, on that one, there was I saw a scientific study done about basically football trends.
Yeah.
And according to that panel, West Ham do indeed get battered everywhere they go.
Speaking of
official now. Yeah.
Speaking of scientific experiments, Rez, let's just bring it up on the actual screen. Let's get rid of it. How do we? What happens if people want to smash a like on the screen? Screen, Rez.
I think that they enter dangerous territory, because we find that essentially they might find the need to smash other things that really just need a gentle, just a click. You might find people smashing lift buttons.
Clickery dickory dock.
Absolutely. I mean, what would happen? Let's say, for instance, someone gets up in the morning. They go downstairs, they're still half asleep, right? They fill the kettle up, and rather than just pressing the button on the kettle, they smash it. What happens then? You might get boiling water all over yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm very much of the feeling that we should be clicking buttons rather than smashing things. So, yeah, my advice to the watching millions is just move the mouse very gently,
please.
Click.
You can also, I've heard the word on the street is that you can also click a like, you can click a share,
yes,
you can click a subscribe, and you can hit a notification bell as well. Do we hit? We don't hit it.
No.
Have we got any likes tonight? Does anyone like us?
Yeah.
Don't know.
I don't think we've got enough likes versus the viewers. Although
we're kind of on the number of the devil, aren't we? We're 266. We were 266.
Yeah. And there is also about 50,000 people streaming tonight at the same time as us, which is
okay.
We should take that as a great credit because people are trying to hit our time slot because we're so successful with our 266 subscribers.
To be fair, we've got. I mean, the people that are watching are obviously the cream of
the creme de la creme.
So they're the sort of top tier.
Yeah.
So we can take solace from that. We've got the best ones.
Speaking of the best ones, Speaking of the best ones, Jermaine Defoe announced his retirement today. Your favourite memories and a tribute. Alan, do you want to take this one first?
Well, to be honest with you, as I said in the message to you lads earlier, I feel sorry for the linesmen because they're not going to be able to have the exercise anymore, are they? He's offside. He's offside. my daughter, when she was younger, and I took her to the games, like usually the Europa League, and if it was offside, she would go, "Is that Jermaine Defoe again?" Yeah.
No, interesting to see if he's the player that's been offside the most times in Premiership history.
Yeah.
But
although I'm sure Raheem Sterling's running him quite close.
Yeah. A genuine player. At the end of the day, he gave us everything he could. It just seemed weird that he always seemed to get 15 goals and then stop. He never seemed to go over that edge and get that 20 too often.
The two goals I remember are the Arsenal one in the 4-4 when he scored that top bins. You know, he sort of turned and hit it top bins, and the overhead kick he scored against Man United, and it was like brilliant goal. And we were all like, too early, like the first 5 minutes.
Unfortunately, I was playing golf that day, and the wife picked me up with a minute to go, and it was 1-0. And as she turned up, they went, "It's 1-0," and I thought, she's done it to me again.
She won't be bringing you any dinner with talk like that, young man.
Yeah. Oh, she knows. Yeah. I banned her from the room now. I mean, after that Man City game when we were winning 3-0, playing 10 men and lost 4-3, that's it. She's banned.
I'm not sure that was Mrs. Al's fault, to be fair.
Yeah. Just coincidence too often, John. It happens every time we're winning.
But... Yeah. Rez, Jermaine Defoe, any pertinent memories, or would you like to make a little tribute to the little guy?
Do you know what? He is, for me, the face of the 9-1 win over Wigan when he scored 5 goals.
Yeah.
I mean,
forgetting that.
Whenever that result is mentioned or I think about it, the first thing that pops into my head is Jermaine Defoe's face. He scored some great goals for us, and as a tribute to him, I mean, you know, in tribute to him, you have to admire the fact that at the age of 39, he was still playing football at that higher level. You know, that's an achievement. So yeah, fair play to him. And I don't think he's gonna. I don't necessarily want to see him as a pundit per se. I'm not sure he's cut out for it, but seems like a nice, genuine guy. The other thing that I liked was I can't remember the kid's name, but the kid that was sort of dying.
Bradley.
Yeah. The way that he acted around that speaks to a nice person. So
there's also the story about him stopping to play with the kids in the street when Harry Kane was a little boy.
Oh, is that right?
He pulled up and he saw a lot of kids playing football in the street, and Harry Kane said a Range Rover just pulled up, and Jermaine Defoe got out and then ended up playing football with him for a couple of hours, like just kicking around in the street. And then Harry Kane reminded him of it years later. He said, "Do you remember getting out in Romford and playing football with some boys?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "That was me." Together in the same dressing room. He's like, "Never."
Fantastic.
Good guy.
Yeah, he is a
good
guy.
So, that on Sky Sports, like that Defoe and Kane would be training after the game, and Defoe would be giving him like tips here and tips there.
That's why he had the number 18 shirt. Did Defoe persuade him to have the 18 shirt when he left? He said he didn't. Kane didn't want to take it, but he said, "No, there's goals in that shirt. You got to have it. You got to have it." And he said he's glad he did take the 18. So his first year, he was 18. Yeah. Nick, have you got any thoughts on JD?
No, just Rez summed it up really. I was going to say the Wigan game.
The words right out of your mouth.
So yeah, you know, that was really it. And on your bike, Scott's just put a comment in. Jermaine Defoe telling West Ham he wanted to leave.
That was funny. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Literally the same day, wasn't it? Like literally, they've been relegated, and it popped up on the Sky ticket. Jermaine Defoe confirms he wants to leave. How to boil piss. I would call them a P word, but that's actually our next talking point, Rez. From the Y word debate to the P word furore on We Are Tottenham TV.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see it myself. I've heard all about it, but it's nothing that hasn't been said before.
The only thing, I mean, from what I can gather, the manner in which it was said, the context in which it was said, was could denote, could have a racial connotation. That particular word has never, to my mind, carried a racial connotation, but from what I understand, in Ireland, it certainly does. When it comes to We Are Tottenham TV, they will be international and they will have Irish viewers who may well take offense at that word, right? So I can understand them feeling the need to apologize. As you know, there have been times where I've railed against context. I've railed against the non-contextual, the reaction to non-contextual words. And I'm a firm believer that the context in which a word is said ultimately determines whether or not it is a term that could carry offense or is meant to carry offense or not. In this instance, I think I haven't watched it. I can only go by what people have told me. If it was used in that way, I can understand why We Are Tottenham TV have apologized and have been quick to sort of distance themselves from it, because ultimately it's not necessarily their responsibility, but others might hold them responsible. So in the environment in which we live now, it's not necessarily the host's responsibility, but if a host doesn't apologize properly, they get lambasted, and that would have been unfair. It's not a great situation. I don't think that a host is ultimately responsible for the way that a guest speaks, because that guest is their own human being. But in today's very, very reactive, very angry world, if they don't, they suffer consequences that they shouldn't. So it makes sense for them to do that.
Is this the reason you were networking on Sunday, Barry? You're going to do you want the pre-match pump up with Barry? Is that what you're after?
Pre-match pump up with Danny Kiriak.
Pre-match pump up with Barry and yeah.
Danny Kiriak. Oh yes, of course you do.
No. I was just wanting to see some friends.
Our friends.
YouTube friends. When your real friends were right there next to the program wall when you were off with your YouTube friends.
Did I come and see you as well before you went in? Yes, I did.
You did,
so
mate. Did you get? We had a lovely embrace, didn't we?
And did I offer you and say you need to? Do you want to come? Yes, I did. So don't try and make out like I just dropped you in Tottenham and fucked off. Yeah.
Dry your eyes, mate. Rez, this letter that Daniel Levy wrote to the council, I've not actually read it. I only saw the headline. Is it? And then I know Danny Kiriakou had a go at it, and someone said you haven't actually read the letter, mate, have you? But what have you actually read it? What was it all about? Or,
I haven't read it, but from what I understand, he has sent a letter to the council protesting or objecting to a planning application by a company, I think they're called Land Lease Limited, who are a property developer. So this story is essentially a billionaire is gonna billionaire, right? This is what Levy is going to do because he wants to protect his investment. I'm not surprised by it. I don't know if what the intricacies of it are, but I'm not surprised by it. Ultimately, if Lend-Lease are given this planning application to do work that basically sits right next to Tottenham, they're going to take advantage. They're going to take advantage of the regeneration of the area, which we know, it's not even speculation. We know that Levy is keen on, because while the stadium was being built and it was called the Northumberland Park project, every other sentence was about regeneration.
We want to wave. Sorry, Rez, to interrupt you. We want to wave. Mrs. Alatici, please.
Oh,
hello.
Oh, a spoken word as well.
Yay!
They want to wave.
We want to hear about this, the time that you went to pick him up.
Yay!
We want the story about when you went to pick him up and we were 1-0 up against Man United with Jermaine Defoe, and then you turned up and they equalised at the last minute.
Absolutely. So yeah,
wishing you better, Mrs. Al. Wishing you better.
In all likelihood, Iggy, that letter would have been sent by a firm of solicitors, you know, but Levy would probably have drafted it because that's what he does. That's his oeuvre, for want of a better phrase. That's what he does.
Rez,
yes, mate.
Just a matter of asking. I mean, I'm going back to when we used to work. I used to be heavily involved on like Spurs community, and during the build, I watched the stadium build quite a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And if I remember rightly, Landlease were the people that were going to build it for Levy. They were the ones originally that were going to be building the thing. So of course, Landlease. But I think if I remember also rightly, Landlease were involved in the stadium originally.
Possibly,
in some way.
Yeah.
And could it be a double jeopardy thing from Levy then? He's pretending to protest, but it's actually one of his companies.
I doubt it. I think it's more likely the fact that if they were involved with the stadium or the Northumberland Park project, it probably would have been just for that project. And now that they've got experience of the area, maybe this company wants to. Again, I don't know. And do you know what? It's not. It's not necessarily an issue that he's written to the council objecting to the housing development. It's more. It just more shows his character, right? That I think he seems to think that Tottenham is now his own personal fiefdom, right? And that nothing can happen in Tottenham without the say-so of the Lord of the Manor. I genuinely believe he thinks of himself as Lord Levy or Lord Daniel of Tottenham, right? Because of just the manner in which he approaches everything. This is a man that really has severe self-esteem issues. To my mind, because nothing would explain the almost pathological need to control absolutely everything, that happens in his own personal world, So yeah, it's a bit of a storm in a teacup, but just speaks to the type of person he is, in my view.
And we all know the real Lord of Tottenham is Ledley, isn't it? Ledley's Lord of Tottenham Manor.
Yeah, listen, given the opportunity, Levy would strip him of that because it takes away from him.
Okay.
Unofficial though the title is,
I'd like to see Iggy in a little pinny doing the washing up.
I must admit though, after us ribbing you earlier, Al, at least we had some bonus content from her today. That's the most she's ever been on screen. That was great.
Yeah,
you've done well there. She was like, she's moved that from best supporting actress.
She's getting more confident.
You've given her a speaking line and everything.
After her appearance on Talking Ball the other day, where she gave Colin a wave, that's the third time she's done this.
Yeah,
she's loving it, mate. She's loving it.
That was better than getting Steve Perriman on.
That was, for me.
Don't push it. I think Steve Perriman was pretty good.
No. Mrs. Allen waving was the highlight. Is the highlight of my shelf-side Spurs career.
Me too. Yeah. Rez, we've got. I've got Rez's rant for you. I've got a serious one and a jokey one. Which one do you want to do first?
I will leave it to you three to decide which one you want me to do first.
Leave it to the director to decide. Actually, Rez.
Okay.
El director.
Okay. El director.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's your show, Tommy.
Yeah. I am the director.
Although I would say serious first, because then we can have a laugh after.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with the serious one. Rez, send to yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
Go.
Trans male swimmer winning the female swimming heat in the US. Will the left eventually eat themselves and bring balance to the force? I can't say I know anything about it. Because it's news to me. But fine.
A big burly 6'4" used to be a man, just spat at everyone in the heats and won basically.
I don't have an issue with that right now. The thing about it is that it would be up to the authorities to decide whether or not they want to ban people that have been male, let's say in this instance, who have been male, competing in a female swimming heat. Okay, it's not for us to decide. In my view, at the moment as things stand, if someone who used to be a man and now identifies as a woman wants to enter into a swimming heat and that gives them an advantage, it's the way of it. You know, there's no, it's not that big a deal in my view. What I don't like
it stops the sporting achievements of the women that can't compete on that level anymore, though.
Sure. And that's and listen, if that's something that they have, you know, if they have that feeling, then it's up to them to make sure that their sport is being administered in a way that doesn't disadvantage them. That's fine. Mrs. Allen is like Tracy from EastEnders. Give her 20 years and she'll start getting some like.
You'll have her own camera and everything.
Absolutely. The thing for me is this, right? If someone wants to physically alter themselves because they identify as being of the other gender, that's not much I can. There's not much I can do, and there's really nothing that I would want to do. It's their choice. It's their life. They can do with it as they please, right? If, as I say, the sporting authorities are happy for that to happen, that's their decision. What I don't like is the screaming and shouting that I have absolutely no doubt has gone on around this issue. And the idea that there has to be a polarized view of this issue, that it's either one thing or the other, right? We're all humans. We're not Twitter bots, right? I recently saw an interview with Johann Hari, who is a journalist. He's written I've read a couple of his books, and he's got a new one out at the moment, about focus and about concentration. And one of the things he talks about is how social media is destroying our focus. And he also talks about how social media fuels anger in people because their business model is built on the idea of to enrage is to engage, right? That's the phrase that they use. And they actually had their scientists show that their algorithms do this deliberately. And what we get is that when an issue like this comes along, my rant isn't against that. That can be sorted out. That can be ironed out one way or the other. But at the end of it, there will always be someone who's unhappy with the solution that is found. But what we will get is the usual ranting on both sides of this unnecessarily polarized issue, screaming and shouting at each other rather than trying to find a consensus in the middle that works for as many people as possible. Those that feel that they lose this argument will end up losing it. And then those that win the argument will be really triumphalist about it, saying, we won, we won, we won. And this is what fuels woke culture, because it's a battle. It's not a question of finding a solution.
It's a win. It's a win rather than a compromise, isn't it?
But to be fair, the what's it called? The sort of alt-right is identical. For them, it's also about winning and thing. They're not interested in freedom. They're not interested in, libertarianism that they say that they are. They're not, right?
They're interested in winning their argument.
Yeah. Okay. And that's why, for me, I'm not ranting against this specific thing because I don't have a dog in this race. But what I am ranting against is this ridiculous social media fueled bullshit that we get whenever something like this comes up, that ends up with us, instead of looking for solutions, finding something that works for as many people as possible and being calm with each other and understanding that just because we disagree doesn't necessarily mean we are different to each other. That's what this will bring.
Which is what my last sentence there was. It was all about. I think it will, because it will lead to people moving away from the fact that you need to win the argument as opposed to finding a solution to stuff.
The thing is, it's not just exclusively the left. It's everyone. It's everyone that polarizes themselves over this issue. You know, on this issue particularly, I mean, I'm a leftist. I've said it before, right? I'm very left wing. I'm a liberal. I believe in all of those things. I'm a democratic socialist. For me, I don't identify with the left that you've put in that comment. That's not the left, in my view. That is woke, and that's completely different. But on the alt-right, who are different to the right, traditional sort of conservative rightism, the alt-right is very different to them as well. You've got woke on that side, you've got right on this side, and a friend of mine described it as a horseshoe, right? Because the woke and the alt-right are like this, almost touching in their objectives, in their fascistic ideas, whereas the rest of us are somewhere on this horseshoe. So we're further along on the spectrum, and this kind of issue will always do that until we can start moving away from the Twitter and the Facebook and the manner in which we engage with each other, and actually start having meaningful conversations and stop this ridiculous thing where at the end of a BBC News report on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, they put up a fucking comment saying, "Send us your opinion on Twitter," as if one of the most complicated, difficult, polarizing issues in world history can be summed up in 280 fucking characters. Now I'm angry. That's what angers me. Not because the issue is not emotive, but because we've got fucking media organizations fueling it and social media assholes making it worse for all of us.
Click that like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Your bonus rant. Go on, Nick. Do you want to?
I was just going to say, should we get back to my infatuation with Danny Kiriakou? I just went a bit deep then.
That's Will thing.
That's similarly linked to you eating chicken that's pink. Rez's bonus rant. Should you eat chicken that's pink, Rez?
I actually saw a couple of cookery programs a few years ago talking about this, actually saying, I'm not sure. I think the chicken's overdone. It's not pink enough. Like, really? I didn't realize you enjoyed salmonella. So yeah, I think that chicken shouldn't be pink. I actually like my chicken green, which is I think what happened on Saturday. When you've got green chicken, you're gonna have some fun, allegedly. And I saw that on Sunday for myself. Yeah, so green chicken for me, please.
Green chicken on the way out.
Was that your own cooking, or you frequented a local chicken shop?
That was chicken delivered to me.
Have you boycotted them? I think the viewing millions want to know. Have you now boycotted that company?
I'm not going to order from them again. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
There goes the sponsorship of the show.
It was tasty at the time, but I can only think. Although to be fair, it probably wouldn't have been the chicken necessarily. I think it was a norovirus because I recovered from it quite quickly. So if it had actually been food poisoning, I probably would have been ill longer. I think it was a norovirus, and that wouldn't have necessarily been the meat. Possibly not even. I mean, it wouldn't have even been unsanitary conditions. It might have just been an accident. You get contamination can spread quite easily when it comes to norovirus. So I think I just got unlucky, basically.
Speaking of things that make you throw up, the next talking point. We've already covered most of that, haven't we, during the course of the show? So we can move on to the next one. Barry, can you bring up that picture of Al when he had blonde hair? Our next talking point for the viewing millions. Who did Big Al with hair most look like in his youth? Is it Eddie Howe, Louis Van Gaal, or Shane Warne? We'll bring it up here.
I'll do it on the screen share here.
Al live from 1991.
No, this was
before that, was it?
Oh, you got it. You got it.
That.
89, I think. 89.
Who are we going for, people? Is it Eddie Howe, Louis Van Gaal, or Shane Warne?
Is that bigger now?
That's bigger now, yeah.
That's bigger, Rez, yeah.
1989, I think that was.
Look at that. You're a tall man.
Yeah,
you made a good centre back.
I was 6'1", and I'm now 5'11". I've shrunk.
Is that the hair?
As you was there, yeah, that made me taller.
Louis Van Gaal.
That was my niece's
I think he's
wedding.
gone for. Can you do a Dutch accent, Al?
No, I can't do Dutch accent.
No?
No good at accents.
Rez, can you do Al's accent for him?
Can you do a Louis Van Gaal impression for him?
I can do a short of Dutch accent. It's slightly I'm going Russian. It's slightly Germanic, and you want to always be thinking about the cliché drugs, and maybe sleeping with your lover afterwards.
That was very Russian. That was
That's
very
Russian, yeah. You're a Russian spy.
Very difficult. It's very difficult.
Speaking of Louis Van Gaal, Rez.
Russian is a little more rounded, you know. You have to. It's almost into the bottom of your mouth when you do Rush.
Rez, you'll appreciate Louis Van Gaal. If you look him up on the internet, his thoughts on the Qatar World Cup. Have you seen it over the last couple of days? He's had a rant about Qatar. It's brilliant. You'll love it.
Good man.
Yeah,
that's the way it should be.
Google him.
Should be. You know, that thing should never. That abomination should never have come about ever under any circumstances.
Which is pretty much what he said. If you could try and bring it up, Rez, and we can discuss it. So I think you're actually going to be at the Newcastle game, aren't you, Eddie? If anyone wants to come and meet you,
I'm going to the Newcastle game, and it'd be great to meet you guys. I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind.
Which stand are we meeting in?
Well, because I have to get there. I'll get there around about 2:30, but I'm going to try and get there earlier. I want to go into the Royale, but I have to, so I don't get
Royale with cheese.
Because I don't get bumped about or anything. I usually go into the west. I go in near the media cafe. I go up one level, and I usually have me bite and something to eat there by the first grill bar. And it's actually in the West End. So
well, wherever the fans want
that's concluded day in the life of Al. I usually get up around 7:12.
I don't go to many games anymore. I used to
get to the ground. I go in by the media entrance up one level.
Yeah. Usually I find it's 43 steps by the time I've.
I'm greeted by a young lady holding hot towels to refresh before we take our place on our plush leather seats.
Sometimes I buy lager, sometimes I buy Guinness, sometimes I push the bowl out and have a bit of Bucks Fizz.
I don't mind a little bit of vitamins with my alcohol from occasion on occasion. Yeah,
I've always been very lucky that go with. It's usually even a mechanic or a friend, like another friend. And every time we've always gone, they've always gone, no, Alan, put your wallet away, because I usually do the driving.
Not for the people watching. This is not Alan declaring that you want him to buy him. He wants you to buy him drinks all day. No. Please be assured. It's not expected.
I can have one drink anyway.
Usually, when I go, people buy me drinks all day. So I want to come and meet me in the West Stand for the Newcastle game.
I have one drink.
I'll be absolutely shit-faced by half time.
People, I just let you know is I only ever have one drink.
One for the road.
Well, I'm driving.
However, if they'd like to buy a drink for your what do you call it, PA on the day? Your PA?
Yeah, my personal assistant, my PA.
So I walk into a stand and people just buy me drinks. It's quite pleasant.
I just don't know who my PA is going to be.
If you'd like to meet a YouTuber on the Newcastle game, come and see me in the West Stand.
Please contact Barry who will be able to arrange the meeting for you.
You know, it reminds me of.
Also buy him a drink as well.
Yeah.
Hey, I bought my round when we went out for the Daegu going away drink.
No one's saying you didn't, Alan. I don't get all upset. Come on, it's been 1 hour 45 minutes. You've done very
You know
well.
what this reminds me of, Al?
We've only had one
Right.
resignation threat.
You ready?
It's been good.
Oh dear.
Come on, Al. Tell us about your day.
I'm not singing. I'm not singing.
He doesn't either.
Confidence is a preference, the habitual voyeur or what?
Al's life.
How's life?
I'll get up about 3 o'clock. Go on Persuasion with Eugene. And then in the afternoon, I like to go on Tommy Talk School.
How's life?
Al's
Hey,
life.
I'm nothing like him. I'm nothing like him. I don't go on
And
as
if,
many as him.
And if some other
Well, thank you.
streams would come a little bit earlier, like Talk and Ball, I'd stay for longer, but it's past my bedtime. So,
Al's life.
How's life?
I had to go because I've got to think of the missus.
How's life?
But things might change soon, lads. I'll be able to stay out a bit late.
But did you know that my
How's
son is
life?
moving out and soon I'll be able to stay up late?
Al's life.
Hey, I don't go to bed till 2 or 3 o'clock most mornings. But
Al's life.
I
could clip
cannot
this.
venture-
Alan, I could clip this. I'll download the audio and
I know
you
you're going to do it.
and then I'll put
I'm prepared.
Oh,
I'm prepared.
Al's life.
I'll see you,
Oh,
I'll see
Alan.
you guys in
you're
another
going to be
4 weeks.
shit-faced. You're going to be shit-faced, mate.
Alan, moving on to business. How are you getting on with your Alatici radar? What's going on?
No one wants to
Any
bloody
famous
answer.
people on the horizon that you can get on the show?
No one's on the no one wants to talk to me. No one wants to talk to me. I've tried Graham Roberts. and he
Alton
said he
Thelwell.
No, Alton Fairwell. He
What?
ain't on YouTube. I tell you, you cannot get Alton Fairwell on YouTube, on Twitter.
And what
Can't
happened with
find
Graham
him.
Roberts?
Graham Roberts, he said he couldn't make the date I asked for in April because, as you all know, I'm seeing Mickey Hazard on the 27th for my birthday. I was hoping to try and get someone. I was trying to. Hey, after you, mate. After you, I can't even go in the same category. Friend. Dance up and down on the car. So, see Mickey Hazard on the 27th for my birthday for the stadium tour, and I could both should get him to come on the 28th if you want him to come on. I can easily have a word with him and he'll come on. He said he'd come on at any time. So just talk football. I'll do part 2. Like, so
Fair dues.
no,
But no one's on your radar apart from.
I sent Defoe a message the other day before he retired, but now I've sent him another message saying, "Now you retired, can you answer?" But he ain't yet.
I think we should try and get Timothy Atuba on.
Yeah. Al, make it so. Make
Get
it
it
so.
I shall go looking. Timothy.
Engage.
Atuba.
Wes, can you do
Your
Jean-Luc
chat- your
Picard and
parent,
make it
would
so?
you choose not to accept it?
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Danny
That's-
Kiriaki's leg.
Yeah.
Um,
Danny, why are you shaking? Oh, it's Nick.
humping his leg like a dung beetle.
Fuck off.
Just as well we're past the watershed.
Isn't it? Just?
There's no- there's no
Saturday
water
is non-league day, boys. Did you know this? Because there's no internet, there's no Premier League or league football on. Well, the top 2 divisions at least. It's non-league day where you're encouraged to go and support your local grassroots club to give them. Obviously, they need your money and your support. Spend a few monies on the old bar and the old coffees and the old turnstiles. Where are you heading, Baz? Are you going to Barnet or?
No, I'm.
Oh, you've got
going-
your cricket
I've got-
nets.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to any non-league club on Saturday. I have
Saturday, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere Saturday. I have children this weekend, which means I can't go to any prearranged YouTube meet. I can't go and try and be a fanboy outside Danny Kiriaki's bedroom window. I can't go anywhere really. So unfortunately, the kids get in the way. I mean, I would say
send it to your ex.
I would say I'd go to Chesham, but unfortunately, I only like going there to collect my children and drop them off, not to.
Oh yeah, Chesham United are home for those.
Not to see any. Not to see
I
the
should be going to
ex-wife
Chesham
or
United.
anyone else in that town. Let's just put it that
Yep.
way.
In other words, honestly,
Nick's
you
live.
want to avoid John. We're trying to avoid John.
Sorry, Alan.
In other words, you won't go to Chesham because you know John's going. Is that what
No.
you're trying to say?
No, I'm not going to Chesham because Danny Kiriaki is not going to Chesham. And no, Sophie, he does not have a restraining order against me that I know
Yet.
of.
Not yet, Sophie. Not yet, Sophie. It won't be long.
Rez, where are you going to on non-league day? Who's a local team to you? The most local?
The sort of most local team of note to me would probably be Camden and Islington United, who play in the Middlesex County League.
They got a little ground and stuff, or
they share a stadium, I believe, with like loads of other. It's not really a stadium per se, I think. Where do they play? I've forgotten. Bear with me a sec. I can look this up actually. They currently play at Market Road, which is their sort of thing.
I'm guessing it's
and
near the
apparently
market.
they have 0 fans allegedly, according to footballground.com.
Who's writing that? The Wheelsstone Raider. You got no fans.
You got no fans. No,
No ground. You got a ground near the.
There's loads of
no?
these little non-league teams around, especially underground-related ones. So what's called that, as in the Tube.
Wimbledon
for some reason.
Underground, overground.
Yeah, no. You apparently there is. You laugh. There's an underground league, and there's an overground league as well. Apparently, and they've got teams that
Wombling free.
London overground lines, and then you got the London underground lines, and they play in different leagues from each other allegedly. So yeah, but I won't be going. I won't be going.
No, I think you should got to support your local non-league club, mate. What?
I will support them in my heart. But
you didn't even know who
good
they were.
opportunity to go there.
Looked it up on Google. What do you expect him to go and watch them?
Yeah.
You know who they are.
Maybe your local conference league team or something. See if it's a good experience.
Sorry, we are Tottenham TV are on, so I've got to go. Sorry.
Alan, who's your local team?
Limousin. I'm going to see Steed on the weekend.
You live in
four
France?
games undefeated. We are 4 games undefeated. Limousin.
Where
2 wins and 2 draws.
Yeah, 4-game unbeaten run. 2 wins, 2 draws. Since we stopped highlighting and looking at them, they've gone an unbeaten run.
Yeah, so
yeah, they're going to lose this week now.
Yeah, it'll be Limonesti.
Do you ever get to go to any non-league games, Al, around there? But nice and easy journey, or
closest I've got really could be very much next year. Stevenage ain't far.
Stevenage.
I've got Stevenage to my right, and I've got a few miles extra. I've got Bishop Stortford on my left.
True.
Well, you're not really getting into the spirit of this. The Princes are going to Haringey Borough. I'm going to Chesham United, and you lot are bloody useless. You got to go and support your local football team, grassroots, keep them going. You know.
I ain't got the mobility to do all that.
Yeah, a local game, you'd be all right. Your parking issues would be better, and it won't take you as long to get in and out and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I'd get there, and they've got about 30 steps to go up. And
You'd probably
no one's carrying my scooter up 30 steps.
The disabled access might be right next to the managers. You might be sat on their lap like Barry and Danny Kiriaki.
Yeah.
You know what we need to do? I reckon at some point we need to go out to watch Limonest play and do a stream from there.
Oh, that'd be classic.
You realise it's near the Alps and it's going to be bloody freezing.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't mind. Fuck it. One of us. We don't all have to go. I'll go. I'll go over at some point, and when we do our Thursday stream, I'll do it from there and see if I can.
Rez will look like John. Rez will look like John Motson when he was at Wickham with the snow.
Yeah, that's right. Massive sheepskin.
We should remind the viewers at this stage the bet that you made on Colin's channel the other day, wasn't it? If we get to 300 subscribers, what are you going to do, Rez? When we
There's
get
a really hot chip, like tortilla chip, that I can get here. It's not the same one that Colin can get over there, but there's a really hot chip that
I believe there was something else as well, wasn't there, Barry? That Rez said he was going to do. Yeah, there was something else.
What was I going to do?
There was some nakedness going on and stuff and hats or something. I don't know. I can't remember. There was definitely something else as well as the hot chip. You come up with another idea.
Was that after I went off at 1 o'clock? I don't remember anything else.
Quite possibly.
I remember.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to review, but I'll certainly do the hot chip if we get to 300 subscribers. I will eat the hot chip live on stage.
And Iggy will eat a pizza with banana on it. That's the latest craze, isn't it? They've gone past pineapple. They're on banana now. Banana on pizza. I saw someone put it on. On
pizza.
Banana
Sophie's got it. Pizza. Sophie's got it. 903.
Ugh. Why would I do that for 300 subscribers?
Yeah, do that for free, Sophie.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need subscribers. I've been doing that for the last 12 years. Where have you been? God's sake. No, I wouldn't do that.
Iggy, how can you say that? It's like a child, remember? How can you say you don't like something unless you tried it? Until you've tried it, you can't say you don't like it. You might like banana on pizza. You never know. What about banana and pineapple? Did Tottenham Away make the target that Iggy was going to eat the pizza for?
No,
they didn't.
No.
So the next target may be pineapple and banana
on pizza. Are you joking?
Yeah.
Do you know the thing is that this is the thing. I actually understand that idea of, well, don't knock it till you've tried it, but
you don't need a hot poker up the arse to know that it hurts.
Yeah, or anyone who's eaten food will know the sort of thing that banana goes with or doesn't go with, and banana doesn't really go with tomatoes and cheese or meat particularly. Otherwise, we would have had lots of.
Does it?
Thing. No, it doesn't.
Or does it?
So if Danny's watching, don't knock it before you've tried it.
Yeah, don't knock it until you've tried it. Yeah.
The weird thing is pineapple with cheese can work as a flavor profile.
As witnessed by those little cocktail sticks.
I didn't say pineapple on pizza. I said pineapple with cheese can work because the two can complement each other.
The hedgehogs.
Yeah, but you've got to have the right cheese, to complement the flavor. So the pineapple brings out the flavor of the cheese, and the cheese highlights the final flavor. You can't just chuck fucking pineapple on mozzarella. It works with other cheese, so it'll work with fucking mozzarella and tomatoes. That's not how it works. Stop putting fruit on pizza is where I'm coming from.
That's the real Rez's rant. That's the real Rez's rant.
Three in one night.
Yeah. All right. 5. I did 2 mini ones earlier on as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Sophie knows.
It's nice. That just proves that it works. Yeah. Pineapple and cheese, Sophie, has Iggy ever had a cocktail stick with pineapple and cheese on it? Can we just confirm to the watching millions whether he's actually prepared to eat one of those cocktail sticks with the cheese and pineapple?
Confirm whether Iggy's had his cup of tea yet, as well.
Well, do you know what? It's like
well, women can multitask. So
the whole savoury and fruit thing, we've done a lot. I mean, turkey you eat with cranberry. Duck you'll eat with orange. Melon.
I don't.
I know you don't because you think I'm talking about meat.
What do you eat with grass, Roger?
With grass,
cress, and grass together.
Grass, barley.
I tried some pumpkin seeds the other day. They were rank. I gave them to my nephew's rabbit.
Oh, pumpkin seeds are lovely.
So you stole food off an animal? Is that what you're saying?
No, I bought them in the shop, and I was intending to eat them myself, but I thought after a few mouthfuls,
did you shell them before you ate them?
No, they were roasted ones. They were roasted.
But were they in their shells?
Yeah, you're supposed to take the shells off.
Yes, that's why
Shit.
they.
That's why you didn't enjoy it.
I didn't enjoy them. It reminds me of once I was their best man at a wedding, and we went out for a meal the night before the wedding, and I was with a load of strangers, about 20 strangers around this table, and they served sardines as the starter, and I'd never had sardines before, so I was nailing these sardines, quite nervous, not keeping my head down, not looking. Finished them. I was looking around, seeing these bones and like the carcasses on everyone's plate, and I was like looking around. I was like, and this Swedish guy was sat next to me. He goes, "Oh, you eat the whole thing over here, do you?" I was like, "What? No, what?" It's like, "Oh yeah, we worry about the little bones getting stuck in our throat in my country." I'm like, "What?" And I was like, really anxious, like, "Am I going to be like stood there the next day during this wedding, like next to the groom, like bits of fish bone ripping through my insides and like killing me and stuff?" Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you eat the whole thing in this country, do you?" Like, apparently so. Yeah, apparently so. We're looking around the rest of the table. No, apparently not.
No, you should have doubled down, Johnny. You should have said no, but I'm fucking hard.
Yeah. Normal people don't.
Yeah.
What do you have at Italian parties, Iggy? Just for
Proper
the
food.
viewing
Proper food.
people. What do you mean prop? Yeah, well, obviously he's not going to eat shit, is he?
Sit down
Fucking hell.
food. You sit down and eat.
Oh, look, ambulance has gone past. There you
Yeah,
go.
that was the second one. Did you not hear the one earlier?
Yeah, the other one.
With the siren. Fuck's sake.
It's coming for me, and there's fish bones in my throat.
Yeah, exactly. Disturbing my stream.
It's come to that time of the evening for Barry's Brainbuster. You ready to
Brilliant.
read this one out, Barry?
I'm ready.
Rez is normally bang on the money with these babies.
Yeah.
What has cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and water but no fish?
Danny Kiriakou, 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 Danny Kiriakou. Doo! Any ideas in the chat or any on the panel there? Rez, have you got any ideas? Alan, have you got any ideas? The old blonde hairs flying.
I was busy doing the theme song. What has cities but no houses?
We need Ben Kaufman. He's normally on the money with these, isn't he?
Forests but no.
Do you know the answer, Barry? As it's your brain buster. We've got an answer.
Sorry?
That's not the answer, Iggy.
Oh,
That's
yeah, of course, yeah. I know, but water. Water, but
I know.
fish.
You've got it, have you?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Well, of course you
Come
do.
on,
It's your
Danny,
brain
break
buster.
The last
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Al? What is it, Al?
No, I don't know. I ain't got-
Al, you should know this from your formal profession. There's a clue for you there.
I'm a taxi driver.
The knowledge. What's the knowledge based on?
Roots.
A to Z
A to
or
Z.
map. A map. Yeah.
Levy out. You've got it. Al, I can't believe you didn't get it from that brilliant clue. Barry's brain buster number 2.
Oh, I didn't
Barry,
realise-
forgot to read it out.
Oh,
Barry, forgot to read it out.
who would win in the battle? Or what would win in the battle? 1 kangaroo-sized Danny Kiriakou or 100 duck-sized Iggies?
And
Sorry,
can you talk about the pros and cons for both, please?
I'm just going to have to fix the grammar on that. I do apologize.
You grammar Nazi.
You
grammar commie.
Grammar police.
Al, what do you think?
I'll have to go
There you go.
with Iggy. I'd have to go with Iggy.
100 duck-sized Iggies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with the latter, I think, as well.
A good army would always overcome a big one, would they?
Yeah. Yeah, a single opponent is usually easier than multiple.
Like Samson. Is it Samson? What's the biblical story?
It depends which one are you referring to. Samson was the really
There's-
strong guy
There's
with the
quite a
hair.
few stories in the
We'll put it
Bible.
so-
Yeah, which biblical story? The
Well,
one
that's why
with
I've met both, and Danny
What?
Kiriaku's there, and Iggy's up there. So 100 Iggy's up there would look like
no. Duck-sized
No, Al,
Iggy.
Al, is it Iggy as in a duck? 100 duck-sized Iggy.
So no,
100
you've got
bucks.
one Danny Kiriakou who is the size of a kangaroo, or you've got 100 Iggy's, each of which is the size of a duck.
Look, his mind's blown.
So,
No, I'm blown there.
it's just mine.
Yeah.
David and Goliath.
There you go.
Randazza. I'm back in. Oh, Sophie's back in. Here we go. Dum, dum,
I'm
dum.
going for the Iggy's purely because it's not because of the comparative. I mean, if you said, Kiriakou or Iggy, you never know. What's it called? Danny might be just some absolutely berserk warrior that is unbeatable. So
But is he a
size
tender lover, Nick?
But
It's too
the
busy
point
to
is,
make
that if
his
you've got
belly though, isn't
one,
he?
you've got 100. You've got 100 Iggy's. You've got 100 duck-sized Iggy's, and they are all around you. They can come at you from every angle. You wouldn't be able to think, and eventually they just overwhelm you.
But it
Whereas
depends
with
what Danny's got in his pouch, doesn't it?
no, but then that isn't part of the challenge, because whatever he's got in his pouch isn't necessarily part of him. So you
But
wouldn't.
then again,
necessarily
ducks are rapists, so
yeah, but that's
they're-
still using something
So-
that
So,
is
so
inherently self.
what you're saying is 100 duck-sized Iggy's are going to rape one kangaroo-sized Danny.
pizza,
One
one
kangaroo-sized
pizza with banana on it.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
mean-
no, the pizza with the banana on it is for afterwards. After you sort of, you want food after sex. That's what the banana on the pizza is for.
There's 100 of
True.
you though, Iggy. There's 100 of
Yeah,
you.
100 of you. So like 5 of you could like go in like a platoon to
On his
take on the
ponytail.
boon, right?
The
And then
boon,
the
yeah.
rest of you would take the rest of the Kiriakou down.
I think
One
it's
big foot each.
Yeah.
I think
You wouldn't be able to sit on his knee, would you?
Oh.
The kangaroo's got a big
Just
thigh.
sit in his cat, just you'd see him poking out at games. Yay, we scored! Mummy!
I'm just a YouTube fanboy. I sit on your lap in the South
See, Iggy knows 100 of me. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'd fuck him up. But you
Right.
are duck-sized, though. Remember, Iggy, it's 100 of you, but duck-sized.
I don't think Sophie would like 100 of. Yeah, I wouldn't say 100 Iggy's. Sophie would be keen on that.
No, we're not talking about the domestic situation. We're just talking about the
Aaron, how are you, boy?
Where have you been for the last 2 hours, 10 minutes?
He's been
How
here.
are you, Aaron, my boy?
Quietly watching in the shadows.
Waiting for the moment that he thought, oh, I know, just when Barry's second brain teaser comes up,
Yeah.
that no one's got a clue what it's about. Boom,
And Barry,
in there.
this is the man that gives Barry 1,000 names.
I think we've
100%.
all given Barry 1,000 names.
Yeah,
I still prefer
change
Ranjit.
it quite a bit.
Ranjit is my favourite. I think
Where did Ranjit come from?
I was from Bobby.
Ranjit, as Bobby K says, he has to have a bit of the twang to it. That came from Bob Spur, Ranjit, or Ranjit.
Ranjit. So, what's the score going to before we close off tonight? What's the score going to be on Alan's Tribute Fest, or otherwise known as the Newcastle game, when Alan is available for people to buy him drinks? I understand.
And Burnley. I'll be there for Burnley as well.
Oh, and Burnley, you can buy him
Burnley,
drinks.
yeah.
Burnley as well.
I don't take a drink. I'll be there at Burnley. I'll be here at Newcastle.
If I can't take a drink, I get off you at Newcastle. I'll take one at Burnley.
It's a fantastic opportunity for our viewing audience to buy Alan 2 drinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one each.
I mean, who could pass up that? You know,
Or maybe a Newcastle
Come
Brown
on.
Ale at the next
Yeah.
game.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't drink the brown ale. No, thank you.
Too brown
You are,
for
well,
you.
it's quite apt that it's your tribute game, being that you look
Are
like
we not
Eddie
going to
Howe
be doing a show
being
next Thursday
Newcastle.
then? Because surely we'll be doing this next Thursday.
All
Or
right,
we're
then,
gonna be-
bollocks to you. We'll bring it down there. We'll do that next
Right.
Thursday then.
Well,
Have you got?
don't you come back here after your bloody hiatus and start telling us what's going on? Thank you.
Yeah,
I've only
Yeah.
been away
No.
1 week
Yeah.
officially because the last week everyone else was missing.
telling
one
the
week,
bloody
felt like it
schedule.
might
When you on strike, like when you on
Who do you
strike
think you
last
are,
week, Al.
me?
Yeah.
Score predictions for the England game. Then who have we got? Saturday or Sunday, Nick? When is it? Switzerland on Saturday, isn't it? It is Saturday. Will Harry Kane break the record? Well, it should go ahead of
Not in
Gary
one
Lineker, I
game.
hope, if he plays.
Not
Ah.
I
We
think
won
he
England.
will. I think
He's
he will
level
play
with Gary
Kane.
Lineker, isn't he? So he's only got to score once to go ahead of
Oh,
him.
the
And
level on thing. Oh, I
he's
thought he
already
was-
level with
was
Gary. Yeah,
number
he's,
four. One of the
Yeah. they've got 48 each at the moment.
Yeah, okay. He might be able to take them in that case. Yeah, because only needs two, doesn't he, to overtake both essentially.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
he's gonna
obviously-
break them both.
Obviously, if
Play both.
Aurier is playing again for the Ivory Coast, is that who he plays for? The Ivory Coast?
Yes.
Oh,
No, is he French? No, he is Ivorian.
no,
Yeah,
he's
Ivory
captain,
Coast.
isn't he? He's captain.
He's their captain.
So if Aurier is playing, then there's every chance that he'll catch Rooney on Wednesday.
He's the
15
captain.
15 penalties.
Yeah. He'll score a double hat trick in penalties.
Poor Serge. Leave him alone.
What's what was Bobby Charlton like when you were a young boy, Alan?
No,
Do you remember all of Bobby Charlton's goals?
Didn't really get to see him.
You were probably a teenager when he made his debut for England, weren't you?
In 1944.
When we won the World Cup, sir, I was only 2 years old,
I'm joking.
so I don't remember. I don't remember watching that one.
He's like Patrick Stewart off Games Master, old Al. He'll come back in the old jar.
Games Master, Dexter Fletcher, Games Master.
Yeah. Craig Charles did it for a while as well. Then he went
Didn't
off
he
to
get
Robot Wars.
cancelled for the R word? He did. I'm sure he did. He was in
Arlo?
Coronation Street when he R'd someone, didn't he? And he
Oh,
got cancelled. Yeah,
so
Craig Charles, allegedly.
the R word is the R word again is not the word retarded is not necessarily a slur. It depends on the context. by
I
the
wasn't
way.
on about retarded. I was on about a
Oh, you're
four-letter
not?
word, which Mason Greenwood has recently been involved with. That R word.
Rape.
Rape.
Yes, I think Craig Charles got
use that
accused
word
of that,
too.
didn't he? Allegedly.
We can
So
use
you
that
got-
word too, by the way. It doesn't just refer to sexual assault.
I don't want to get sued. I've got 266 viewers to consider here. What would they do on Thursday evening? They'd watch one of the other channels if it wasn't for us being here ripping the piss out of Barry.
You
Come
need
on.
to apologise now, Johnny.
I'm
for me
sorry
leaving.
for alleging that Craig Charles got R'd or
He didn't use
handed
the
out
word.
an R.
No, he was convicted of it.
Was he?
convicted of it. Yeah, he went
Was he
to
in prison?
for it.
So why is Red Dwarf still on then? Shouldn't that be
He's been
cancelled?
released since then. Let me
Yeah,
just
but
double
come
check.
on, you can't
You
carry
get 2
that
years.
on, can you? If he's,
No,
Yeah,
2
of course
years. You
you
only
can.
get 2 years. You're out in 5 minutes, and you 2 years.
what for R?
No.
He spent attacked the where is it? Oh no, he was cleared of rape, sorry. But he did go to he was in prison for something. I think he spent 3.5 months in
No, that's
prison before being
before. It
bailed.
was, before famous,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Was that before he's famous?
No. No, it's
I thought he went to he did murder or something, but when he was like a young man. Is there some kind of other? Or was that Dirty Den, Barry? The guy that played Dirty Den, Leslie Grantham, he got done for murder, didn't he? He got convicted of murder, I think, or manslaughter before he was in EastEnders. Doing this to women on
A lot
YouTube.
happens on those. A lot happens on those streets of Elstree.
And do you know what? This actually, just to become serious for a second, this whole thing with Craig Charles is indicative of the whole issue
Cancel
with
culture.
because he spent 3.5 months on remand for rape, was cleared, was acquitted, found not guilty. He was attacked while in prison in Wandsworth by a guy with a shiv, right? And yet the noise around it is so little that this man is innocent, whereas the noise while he was still innocent but had been accused was so much more that we think, or I think, that he was actually imprisoned for it when he wasn't. You know, this is
Here's one for you, Rez. Wesley Snipes, star of Blade, one of my favorite films. He got cancelled by Hollywood for tax reasons. And then years later, you got all this Me Too movement about all these Hollywood directors and stuff fiddling with women and casting room couches and stuff. Yeah, where's Wesley Snipes? He should be back. He only did tax fraud. Come on.
He is back.
He bloody well should be. I love that man.
Okay.
Mari's Love Lounge.
He's a Spurs supporter, Wesley Snipes is. Yeah.
That was stuck in my...
Is he? Is he? The point is, though, Johnny, what you're saying has got a grain of truth in it, in that it's not that these things aren't bad. Yes, of course there are. It's the hypocrisy around it, because the casting couch, the fact that the casting couch itself is used as an analogy for that kind of Hollywood producer predating on what's it called on young women. And has been going on for decades. Where was the fucking media then? Where were they then? Right?
On bloody Wesley Snipes' case for moving a few digits around on his tax returns. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Right? By all means report it, but report it when it happens, not when it's convenient. You know? Do it.
And whatever happened to Chevy Chase as well? What happened to Chevy Chase? What happened to his career? He was big in the 80s. Anyone know what happened to Chevy Chase?
Apparently he's a bit of a willy. He's not a very, very nice person to work with, is what I've heard. But
casting room couch?
No, I don't think so. No, nothing like that.
No. And on that note, Alan, have you got any 80s Hollywood stars you want to throw into the ring?
No.
Is Wesley Snipes 80s or is he 90s?
90s. I'd go 90s, yeah.
Great
I love Blade.
Passenger 57, Blade, Demolition Man.
White Men Can't Jump. You wouldn't get away with that these days, would you? That as a film title, they wouldn't let him call that.
It's true.
No, you would. It's okay if it's okay if it's against whites. Yeah. It's okay. Racism against white people is fine. Seriously.
It's also factually correct, no?
The 80s,
every single white person.
Look at the stats. What do the stats say? We'll have to do the stats on whether
Will Stewart, if you're out there, what do the stats say? Can white men jump? Or you have to do the eye test and then watch it back twice before you can tell.
Oh Jesus!
Bill Cosby as well. What did he do? Oh, he's
touched someone.
Was he convicted? No, he's out now, isn't he? Because he's too old to serve his time or something. Aaron, I don't know. The Cosby Show was filmed before a live studio audience.
Iggy,
right.
For you if you're still watching,
the court overturned his conviction.
What, Cosby?
Apparently so, yeah.
What about O.J. Simpson?
O.J. Simpson was found the first time for the murder trial, was found not guilty and was acquitted, but then he was subsequently imprisoned for other offences, if I've remembered correctly.
And now he's in the WWF, probably. I don't know what he's up to. Or WWE, isn't it? They're called whatever they're called nowadays.
WWE now, yeah.
Yeah. On that note, are you going to be watching the England game, boys, or?
I'm more likely to watch the England games.
Probably
you
not.
You will or you won't, Al?
Yeah, I will. As I say, I'm at home, so I don't really do anything else.
Park life.
No, I can't.
House life.
What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be doing?
I should put it politely. I'll be watching a game because it's entertainment.
Have you had a good time tonight, Al? Are you glad to be back, Al?
Always glad to see you boys. Always glad to see you boys. That's cool. It's like still, mate. Oh, 1 minute. Carry on. That's better. That's fine.
You know, if you share a screen, if you share a screen, does the sound come through as well?
I don't know. Yes, Sophie, Danny's window.
Yeah, or what is known as.
Ours live.
This can be avoided if you take.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
Ours live.